There you go. Welcome to another episode of Why Would You Tell Me That? Now, normally we usually would kind of record the day before, and our amazing editor, Diarmuid, our producer, he would put it all together. And he has a little bit of time.
Loads of time. Easy job, I'd say.
Easy job, because we tend...
We're such pros.
We're good.
We're Prose Bros. We never make a mistake.
Oh, God. Prose Bros just sounds like Edgar Allan Poe, who's a prose bro Poe.
Nice.
And him and his mates would just hang around, him and Mark Twain.
Prose Bros.
Prose Bros.
Except
Prose Bros forever.
Prose Bros, Twain and Poe had talent.
Yeah.
What we've got is a 7-figure income based on some market knowledge and a YouTube tutorial I watched on crypto. So that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
With those kind of bros.
But if you want to be a part of the
At least learn how to say it. Yeah.
You can by just downloading our online course and paying us $9.99.
$999.99
day.
Oh, it's gone up. Yeah,
you could become part of it.
You want to unlock the secrets and learn how.
Unlock the secrets.
It's good, isn't it? You want to learn how to maximize your potential, achieve extreme wealth.
Yeah,
and also. Don't be taken in by those women.
Yeah.
Right?
10x your appeal to people you seem to hate.
Don't ever introduce yourself and say your name, you idiot.
Yeah, you're losing ground. You must dominate. You must dominate everything. Don't say hello to the magpie. Dominate the magpie. Don't
get out of the car, sit on the magpie's shoulders, and say, "Fly me to my office."
Yeah,
pie.
Yeah,
child.
Don't ask the magpie how its spouse is. Dominate the magpie. Rewrite the magpie. 1 is for sorrow. 2 is also for sorrow. You will rue the day you've interacted with me, Mr. Magpie.
3 is for crypto. 4 is for Huel, the single meal replacement.
5 is for batch cooking your meals for the week ahead. 6 is for your macros. 7 is for listening to an audiobook while exercising.
And 8 is for a custom-made Audemars Piguet, which we flex on the reg.
9 is for ice baths. 10 is for sauna. 11 is for brown fat. Yeah, we don't go to 11 because we don't have any brown fat.
And 12 is for I get more done before 4 a.m. than you do in an entire month, loser.
Yeah, you're a loser. Sometimes owls come in and ask me to tell me their secret. Okay, welcome to another episode of Folks.
Expect these ad reads reg, okay?
Yes.
Like on the reg. Like I'd say 2 in this episode, min.
We never got any word back from either the Trapdoor Company or some of the other ads that we've had.
It's odd. It is odd. I mean, I don't think we did anything wrong.
No.
Is what I would say.
But I also counted that.
You know what? Those companies are pussies. That's what I would say. They're afraid of the cutting edge, the sharp edge of the knife. That's not a phrase. Yeah. But it is now.
No, there's a sharp edge of a knife.
No, there's not a phrase, though. It's
not a phrase. But nothing you've said so far has been a phrase. None of anything that we've uttered so far.
The magpie.
If
that's not a phrase.
I think. Well, it's what Alex Ferguson did just after Kevin Keegan.
Yes,
God rest his soul.
He did.
What a player he was, by the way.
Yeah, what a player.
Had his rant. 4 minutes in, we haven't said anything. That's a record.
We've said so much. We've given the people what they want. They tune in for high impact, high performance podcast content.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would you be here?
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, why are you here? You should have been up at 3:37 a.m. We've told you this.
Yeah, you and Mark Wahlberg lifting weights with one hand and praying with the other hand.
Stay prayed up.
Why doesn't he just get very heavy rosary beads?
Also, can someone very religious have $300,000 Jordans?
Is that what he has?
So he's a company called Wahlburgers, okay?
Yeah.
Himself and his bro, another bro, Donnie. So they have a company, and it's a fast food chain, whatever. And they got asked to do a collaboration with, or maybe he did, with the Jordan brand. And it's these Jordans I have on my feet. Again, if you're watching, you can see them. They're Jordan 4s. These are called the Toro Bravos. They're red. His ones are green.
Okay.
Obviously, Wahlburgers colors, I guess, are green, whatever. So this kind of lovely, light, kind of pastel green, gorgeous pair of sneakers. They made 23 pairs. because Jordan's number 23. So they often do this where it's only friends and family. They give them to Mark Wahlberg and go, there you go.
Pairs
There's
of
your
chromosomes, I thought it was going to be.
23 pairs of Jordans. And he gives them to friends and family. And what, if I said, hey, don't sell that.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, cool. I won't sell that.
Yeah. Particularly if I have enough money.
If you're a friend of his, maybe you don't. Maybe you're just a guy that he knew when he was growing up, all right?
Right, yeah.
You don't have a lot of money.
No.
But you're here with me.
Yeah.
I tolerate your existence.
Yeah.
You help me with my podcast goals.
Yeah.
But if I gave you the pair and I said, just don't sell them, right? Cool. Then the story of them gets out and people start offering, big money. The demand outstrips supply, obviously, massively. Yeah, they have gone for $300,000.
And Mark Wahlberg has a pair.
Well, he has 15 pairs left.
But he hasn't sold them.
No, he's giving them to friends and FNF. They're called friends and family. He got a load in his size because you can get something called an FSR, a full size run, where you go from size 5 to size 15 or whatever, and you get one of each one.
You can get that.
Oh no, he can. He can
get that.
But what he did was he got 23. So let's say he got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 11. Then he went and then can I get 12 pairs of size 10.
Right, okay.
So he has all them. So he can always come out in a brand new, untouched, unbelievable flex in a pair of brand new Wahlbergers.
Okay. The answer to your question is yes. So the original question was, can somebody very religious have
$300,000 sneakers?
Yeah. Have you been to the Vatican?
That is such a good point.
I mean, and he is a Catholic. So not only should he, it's incumbent upon him. If you look at the vast treasures in the Vatican.
In fact, the disappointment to Jesus by him,
if you wouldn't have them,
is that the gym in which he works out
is CrossFit.
Is so good. The gym in which he works out isn't in a dome, a St. Peter's Basilica type dome in which the ceiling has been hand painted by whoever the modern day Michelangelo is, Bob Ross. I don't know.
Yeah,
that those, we're just going to do a nice little tree up here. Just a nice little tree.
It's not Rolf Harris anyway. I know that.
No, it isn't. We're not putting those two in the same conversation.
Okay, wow. So that's answered that question. Yes, you can.
Okay, great.
I'm very glad, by the way. Now, I know you're starting the show. And
I'll start it whenever.
You're giving me the facts first. But I'm very glad that we talked this much rubbish at the start of the show because it absolutely ties into my fact in the second half.
Amazing. Right.
Yeah.
Well, mine doesn't tie into anything, but I want to ask you, sometimes you look at something that's been invented and you just go, yeah, of course. I don't know. Things like, for example, in this room, there are a lot of tripods, okay?
Yeah.
Because we're making a podcast. We've got camera tripods, microphone tripods, light tripods, whatever. Of course.
And a dog.
And a tripod dog. Yes, the three-legged podcast dog. When you look at a tripod, it makes perfect sense. The invention of the tripod was a great thing.
Yeah.
It serves so many purposes. It obviously is stable. It's light, all those things. So often you look at an invention and go, yeah. And I think one of those inventions that you look at and feel like that is bubble wrap.
Oh, yeah.
You look at bubble wrap and you go, yeah, a little bit of air inside 2 pieces of sealed plastic. The air provides cushioning. You wrap a valuable in it. You stick it in the post. It arrives unharmed. Makes perfect sense.
And also the ancillary benefit that the person who invented it could not have known is how satisfying it is to break bubble wrap. And
nobody would have known.
Oh, my God.
The person who invented it, the people who invented it, is who I want to talk about today.
Okay.
There's these 2 lads, and they decided, it was in 1957, and Alfred Fielding is an American, and he teams up with a Swiss engineer called Marc Chavannes. Maybe Chavannes, I don't know, but Chavannes, I would imagine. So the 2 boys get together, they're working in New Jersey, and they had an idea for a new texture that they could create in a material, and this texture would be by sandwiching 2 pieces of plastic together, trapping air inside formed bubbles, and then they would sell it as
Gore-Tex or something like that, Is just like a protective thing for outdoor clothing.
Protection was not on their minds.
No,
they wanted to invent a new wallpaper.
Bubble wrap as wallpaper.
Bubble wrap was wallpaper.
Wow.
So in the late 50s, early 60s, if you remember back to that era that you'll have seen in movies, made particularly in America, where gaudy interior home design was a thing.
Okay.
Be it like, textured wallpaper.
So it'd be very kitsch.
It'd be very kitsch. Yeah, exactly. The things that we look at now and go, oh, that's the 60s right there.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. They took two sheets of plastic together, they sealed them together, they trapped air, and you get this weird 3-dimensional bumpy wallpaper surface. It's modern, it's futuristic even in the 60s. And crucially, nobody wanted it. Not a single person. They walked into every big wallpaper retailer, every big manufacturer, every big home store, and everybody just went.
Because it's the sort of thing that you think there might have been a year of it. There might have been the big summer of bubble wrap, and everybody had it. And then people went, "No, we're losing our minds here. How would you replace it?"
It didn't even get beyond the stage of talking to
people. Just did not like it.
They just went like, "What is this?" It's like it's a wall covered. My wall's now covered in plastic pimples. Yeah, like there was nothing.
I do think that if somebody said, "Look at my room. This is we've just done up our sitting room. Come in and I'll show you the sitting room," and you walked in, it would look like a kill room. I think it would look like, because you got plastic everywhere.
And imagine
it would look like
what the light would do in a room off a wall like that.
Yeah.
Like you're not getting soft reflections.
No.
Like look at our beautiful soft furnishings around us here with the lovely lights and all. Like you're going to get harsh, bouncy, odd angled, because it's not it's a pigment or a pimpled surface.
Yeah, one of two things is going to happen. Either because of the plastic nature of it, I'm going to murder you because of some perceived slight. Bro code.
You broke the bro code.
Or you're looking at the fact that it's padded, and I'm locking you in the room because.
But the padding nature of this had not even yet been considered by anybody, not the inventors and also not the potential retailers.
Okay.
So they had invented something that just didn't work. But then they said to themselves, hang on a second now. We could just throw this idea away, or we could use it for something far more applicable. And that's when they thought, maybe it could be a greenhouse.
Oh.
So when you're trying to keep something warm, you need obviously something. Plastic is
very good. Yeah.
Greenhouses were traditionally built off glass since the 1700s, I think. But certainly it's traditionally how you would grow a tropical plant in a non-tropical climate.
That's why the phrase is those in plastic houses shouldn't throw stones.
Yeah, glass houses.
Yeah,
yes.
no, but that's what I'm saying. That's why it doesn't exist. Because originally it was glass houses.
It was, yeah. And so then they decided this would be. So they made a prototype, they made another prototype, made another prototype. The plants grew. The plants, like you wouldn't believe, they were onto a winner. Until they weren't, because everyone just went, nah, we'll just use glass. It's weird. It's noisy, and it's actually kind of too hot.
Right. Yeah.
So it didn't work in the way they'd hoped. So the glasshouse, the greenhouse, didn't work either. So they've invented a failed wallpaper. They've invented failed greenhouse insulation.
Yeah. 2
industries, 2 strikes, and at this point, I don't think I would feel too upset if the boys went, Fielding and Shavanis just went, you know what? We've had a good run.
Yeah.
Like we tried our best. It hasn't worked. But they didn't. They kept going. Instead of asking, what did we invent this for? They actually had a much better question, which is, what is this good for?
Right, yeah.
Which I think is a great idea.
It's a very good idea.
Because you're trying to apply, your original invention was wallpaper. Then you're trying to apply it to another task. Instead of going, no, what's this good at?
It's like when I did a sculpture thing once. We were in West Cork somewhere, and you could do a bit of pottery thing, right? And Mrs. said to me, so why don't we do this? And so I did this, made something, and I said, what do you think that is? That's what you should do.
I see what you mean.
Because I didn't know what it was.
You didn't know what it was.
But if that other person who's looking at it with fresh eyes can go, oh, that's clearly an ashtray. You go, that is exactly as I intended it.
Yeah.
So as the lads basically made this and went, what is this?
What do you think it is good for? Yeah, they realized that little air pockets meant that you could wrap something fragile in a bit of this material.
Yeah.
And if something hit it, the bubbles absorb the impact. So right now, as I said, we look at bubble wrap and go, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That was not the case in the early 1960s. So when you were shipping things then, you did things which often you still see now today are like shredded paper, shredded newspaper, some kind of packing material. Obviously, in the meantime, we invented those horrible styrofoam packaging things, which we're moving away from. But they were all invented. But they were bulky and quite messy and not attractive. So it's okay when you're shipping something that you just want to very quickly get it from A to B. But when you're being serious about shipping, when you either want to impress somebody or when you're shipping something that is genuinely expensive, valuable, delicate, that's when you need to have something else. And this is where the sheet of airbags started to make sense. But they still have to convince somebody to kind of use it in the market and prove to everybody that this is worth doing. So they didn't really know where they were going. And then there was a meeting, an accidental meeting, between a Sealed Air, that's the name of their company, by the way, Sealed Air, a Sealed Air salesman called Frederick Bowers. He saw an opportunity. He had dinner with a guy who worked for IBM.
Okay.
International Business Machines. And IBM had just developed something called the 1401, which was an early computer that was becoming hugely popular in businesses. Okay. The problem with the computers is they are very, very expensive in the mid 60s. Like aggressively expensive. And you don't want your delivery driver turfing them in the back of the van along with the spare tire and, you know, the stool he sits down.
The people he's smuggling into the country to make ends meet.
Yes, exactly. So the meeting happens and Frederick says to the IBM guy, he goes, you know, we have a product that could help you ship your computers. They'd arrive in perfect condition.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. It looks futuristic. It looks computery.
Yeah.
It looks like, they're like, I'll bring it to the bosses. So the thing that nobody wanted on their walls, and the thing that probably would have grown tomatoes, but again, people felt was a bit oppressive and weird, then started to wrap the most delicate and expensive technology in the world at that time. And that was the breakthrough. They had founded Sealed Air Company in 1960. The bizarre bubbly material as their signature product took years. Like it was late 60s by the time this really took off. But once people saw that it worked via IBM, that's when other manufacturers and other industries started to go, okay, hang on. All electronics.
Yeah.
Glassware. Like of all descriptions. So you're talking about, you know, your glasses, obviously your chandeliers, but also your frames, picture frames, dinner plates, all this, anything, industrial equipment, like delicate steel structures that need to be protected. Eventually, basically anything that you didn't want arriving looking like it had been kicked down the stairs.
Yeah.
This was what you needed. And the product kept improving because even the early versions, they didn't hold their air particularly well.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't an immediate success in terms of it didn't look like it looks now. It was similar, but there were quality issues. By the time IBM had rolled around, they had improved the product so many times.
Because it's like 8 or 9 years later by this stage.
Yeah. So they had got it. And then, of course, as you mentioned earlier on, there's an ancillary joy. There's an extra thing that these guys didn't think about again, which is the satisfaction of popping those things. I mean, it literally is a way of, it's a calming exercise.
Can I ask you, given that this was wallpaper, do other countries, and do your children now, I assume they don't, but you did when you were a kid, did you wrap your books in wallpaper?
Yeah, wallpaper and brown paper. Remember postal kind of packaging brown paper? Yeah.
For copies.
Well, not copies so much as the books mostly I found. Then in the maybe the early 90s, late 80s maybe, my mum came across transparent plastic adhesive so that you would push it on and you could cut it exactly.
God, it
must
have looked like the future.
Oh, fancy.
The future in the 1980s.
Yeah.
I remember like my school books being covered in a striped, heavy duty, doubling the weight of the book.
Completely. They were always embossed.
Embossed. Yeah. Overly protective. wallpaper, and I don't think other countries did that.
No, I think it's
Ireland and
quintessentially
England
Irish.
is it, or
I don't
Ireland
even
and
know about
Britain?
England. I don't know. Maybe
If you
it is.
are from outside of Ireland or Britain, will you email us at wwytmtpodcast@gmail.com and let us know did you cover your copybooks and cover your school books in wallpaper?
in wallpaper.
But if people did, did you think anybody knew that bubble wrap was originally wallpaper, and somebody in the 1980s in Ireland had bubble wrapped covered school
That
books?
would be incredible. Because I mean, I had this transparent plastic. There was no
bubbles.
impact protection.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So look, the boys did an unbelievably good job.
That's amazing.
The stress relief is part of it. You don't need an app. You don't need to meditate. You just want to. But it's now a phenomenon. So there is a National Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day. That's a thing. There are bubble wrap conventions. Sealed Air still owns, by the way, bubble wrap is a brand name.
Right.
In the way Jacuzzi is.
Yes.
In the way Hoover is.
Jet ski.
Very good. The company reported $5.4 billion in sales in 2024. God. And the whole sealed air industry is worth tens of billions.
I wonder how they're... yes, you're not going to know this because this is the financial results of the company. But given that we are trying to move away from plastic as just a general use material, have their fortunes waxed and waned?
That's interesting because...
Are they trying to get into other...
So, well, first of all, I suppose say, if you're talking about the brand Sealed Air, I would imagine Sealed Air... I could be wrong, but I would imagine it has to be plastic. At least it has to be airtight. Paper's not going to be airtight.
Yeah.
You know, it's a porous material, whatever.
Just have an image of a massive hippie going, still trying to work on my airtight hemp, and it's not quite working out. But they've enough money now to just...
They do. They're throw it at the wall to try and invent something that will work. I suppose I've seen certainly really nice...
Vegetable material can now be
used
as...
Because I was going to say, what I've seen, which is lovely, is a kind of... an accordion style, like flexi, like hard paper that would so if something, I don't know, I'm trying to think what I've seen it in, but something, maybe a mug, like where it comes, this thing is like kind of a sleeve that goes down over it, and it's not using air, it's using structure to protect it. So there's enough structure in the kind of the brown paper is maybe a centimeter thick in all ways around, and the mug sits inside it and it grips it and it won't move. So if it falls, presumably the impact will be taken by the paper and not the thing. So I've seen that looks nice. But I guess if you're talking about sealed air, maybe the boys have diversified into that kind of stuff. I don't know. But sealed air itself would definitely be, I think, would be a plastic-based industry. So yeah, you don't know. But the two lads in New Jersey, 1957, took them the guts of a decade, but they invented a wallpaper and a greenhouse covering that eventually became what we use every day as bubble wrap.
And somebody will find out a different use of it by the end of this. What's the weirdest thing you've ever used bubble wrap for? Send us that answer as well.
Please don't send us that answer. And I don't want a video of what you did with the bubble wrap.
Please send it on, because we're not going to see it first. If Diarmuid comes in just weeping.
Yes.
If he's covered in his own bubble wrap jacket.
There was hang on. What movie was that? There was a bubble wrap jacket. Was that Dude, Where's My Car? Did somebody wear it? Or was it You Are Our Only Hope? What was that movie called?
Well,
Galaxy Quest.
Well, Dave does
Did
this.
somebody have a bubble wrap jacket? But before part 2, I'll remember what movie that was.
We're going to take a quick break now. We'll be back in 20 to 25 years.
Welcome back to part 2, and I was right with my first guess. I should have stuck with my gut. If we learned nothing from our high performance podcast, it's go with your gut, people.
Go with your gut. Ignore all scientific evidence.
Yes.
And any sort of studies. No. Just go with your gut and what makes you the most money.
Dude, Where's My Car?
Yes.
There is a scene where there's a cult.
Right.
I think it's Zoltan. And they're all dressed in bubble wrap, and the leader of the cult is getting them ready to go in their spaceship to Zoltan planet or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of guys in a barn in Wyoming or whatever. And they're all wearing bubble wrap, and they're all constantly popping during the cult meeting. So like they're standing there going, It's very good.
We are finally going to fulfill our prophecy of outer space travel.
Given we've talked so much rubbish today, right?
Speak for yourself.
How many words do you think you speak a day?
Oh, come on. I'm in a different league to anybody you know.
Do you think you speak more words than me?
Yes.
I was thinking this the other day. I know how many. So on a stand-up show, for an hour and 10 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes, I would estimate somewhere between 7,000 and 8,000 words.
Okay.
Right?
I would
so that's constant speaking for an hour and 15 minutes, and quite quickly. I speak reasonably quickly.
Okay.
Pretty quickly.
I would think I do 22 minutes of talking
per hour.
Per hour.
For the show.
So I would do 66 minutes. But then I would have pre-show meetings. I would have post-show recordings.
Yep.
I have 4 children, Neil.
That's true.
So if my working day was to be mute, then I would beat your hour and 10 minutes by being home for 7 minutes in my house.
Well, we are the people who are bringing the average up, because I read this week that we are now using 28% fewer words than we did in 2005.
Yeah, but we're also like dominating magpies, and I'm getting up at 3:37 a.m. to do an ice bath. So what? 28% fewer.
In 2005, we spoke about 16,632. Well, about 16,600, we'll call it.
Sure.
Words every day. So this is an American. It's a combination of American studies.
Okay.
So it's about 16. Keep that in your head. 2005, 16,600 words. By 2019, that number.
Use your words.
Use your words. By 2019, the number had fallen to 11,900.
Okay, so surely the advent of messaging has replaced an awful lot of conversation.
Huge amounts.
Wow.
So basically, researchers at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and University of Arizona got together and they looked at this. It felt so much that they went, I wonder, is this right? This seems extraordinary.
It does seem
because you're down to a point where if it loses another 25%, you're just getting into teenage boy territory. And a Dave Allen sketch of him just grunting at you and pointing at things. So it's about 300 words a day. Fewer words a day were being used by the end of the period in 2019, by the start of the period in 2005, which is 120,000 fewer words in a year.
That's a lot.
So yeah, and it's kind of important as well. They got together, and I suppose you would think, well, how would they do something like this? So there's a woman called Valeria Pfeiffer, and she was one of the authors of it. She's a professor of psychology and counseling at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. And they started out, and what they did, they were trying to figure out, is there a difference in talkativeness between men and women?
Okay.
And males and females. And there have been various studies about that, and some people would suggest that women talk more, some people would suggest, well, nobody, I don't think, anecdotally would suggest that men talk more, but I don't know. I actually don't know. So they had a look at that, and they reviewed 22 studies in which mostly Americans, it was about 2,000 people, had recorded themselves during the day. So it's basically obviously turned on the recording device and went about their day. That's the only way you get an accurate kind of reflection of their day, I suppose. And the people were from age 10 to 94.
Okay.
And they found out that on average we speak 28% less. Now, let's ask some questions about this. Which group of the groups in terms of the age cohorts do you think fell off the most precipitously?
So you would imagine that those who are exposed to and grow up with smartphones and messaging apps and technology that replaces talking would be the group most likely. So I would say not the 10-year-olds who are just beginning their journeys, but maybe the people in their late teens, early 20s are the group that go,
Well, they divided the sample by people younger than 25 versus over to 25.
Yeah.
People under 25 lost an average of 451 words a day. While those older than 25 lost 314 words a day. So that's 1.5 times.
I wonder, are they replacing all of the words they lost with bruh? Because...
Like?
No, I don't even hear like. All I hear is Bro. So imagine
From your teenagers?
Imagine, right? You
From
go
Dublin?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, no.
From every part of in Eden-Derry, every part of the world right now, okay? You walk into a teenager's room and you go, "Hey, how's your day at school?" "Fine." "Can you do the dishwasher?" Bro.
Really?
Like, that's all you get.
It must be weird to love, but also dislike your children so much.
Well, what I've found, and listen to this is advice for any parent or anyone who ever plans to be a parent, or even if you're an uncle or an aunt or whatever you are, if you have a chance, when a teenager is being like this, please learn 6 phrases that they use that you don't even have to understand, right? So, like, it used to be brain rot, it was called, right?
Yeah.
So, like, my kids would say something, and, like, I just walk into them and go, "Skibbity toilet!" And they'd go, "Oh!" And then they can't verbally use that anymore because I've sullied it.
You've sullied it, yeah.
So then 6, 7, we talked about that on the show before. That was the thing. You do that now, kids are like they're
so
viscerally
cringy
offended.
inside, yeah.
So what I've started doing is like I'll just walk into the room and just like look at him and go, "Oh, bro, we are so cooked."
Oh no!
And then he's like, "What?" And then he starts becoming verbose, going, "What do you need from me? Please, Father, explain to me."
Father, as your favorite offspring, as the progeny of your loins, as the next in line, please
allow me to facilitate the cleansing of the washing machine of dishes. Like, all of these words are happening.
Point me to the crockery that is highest in your favor, and allow me to dispense my suds upon it. That sounds like something different, but it does. That's amazing.
Yeah, so
things.
really ruin it for them.
So basically, in the same way that certain very far right groups down throughout the years in various countries sullied the national flags.
There you go.
That's what
this
you've done.
Is effectively what I'm doing. I am the far right of parenting.
You've painted a George's cross on a roundabout, verbally speaking. Is what you've done.
Yeah. I mean, even at the girls' football training last night, we had an extra large group. We were combining 2 teams together. It was 23 girls. Okay. And I needed to get their attention. And they were like, obviously, they were not paying attention. And I don't want to shout and roar. You're coaching 11-year-old girls. You're chopped.
Well, you can't say that.
What I did was, I started to do the dance moves to a Cat's Eye song. Oh, no. Okay? And they noticed that the coach is making weird, and they looked over, and every single one of them stopped cartwheeling, talking, and were just transfixed by this middle-aged idiot.
That's amazing.
Touch, think about you way too much. And they were like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "Let's do the warm-up, girls." Everyone was focused.
That is amazing.
Everyone was locked in.
That is amazing. You did the same trick. Do you remember when a lot of people were kind of standing around waiting for that eulogy at the graveside? And they were all like, "How are we going to get everybody's attention?" There's a lot of people going up to the widow going, "Sorry for your troubles."
Yeah.
Who would have seen that? Combine harvester. Oh, very unusual. I know he wanted to donate his organs to charity, but nobody thought it was going to be in the form of a smoothie. And then you stood and you just started doing the stem dance, and everybody kind of just turned towards you, and then you went, and now let's talk.
Let's pray.
How Diarmuid finally succumbed to the bubble wrap addiction. So you are correct. It is younger people lose more words. Right? Now, they haven't gone into the very specific conditions that cause this, but I think we know them. They have suggested the fact that we use texts, the fact that what is weird is that we have invented a system where I talk to you and you talk to me. You can see, you can hear tones, you can see intonation, you can see facial expressions, etc., etc., etc. We don't have any of those in text, so we've invented small emojis that are pictures of the things that we already did.
You're a learned enough man to not pluralize emoji with an S.
So it's emoji. The plural of emoji
word.
Is emoji.
They are emoji.
Okay, all right. I'm not learned enough.
Okay,
but thank you very
now.
much for that.
You're welcome.
That is possibly the single most useless pieces of information we've ever covered on this.
Because the singular is not an emoji; it is also emoji, so it's not helpful at all. At all.
That's a good point, though. Yeah. They have suggested that's one thing. Okay. Think about the fact that Deliveroo. DoorDash, whatever they call it, they use one more often in America, Uber Eats. You're not actually talking to somebody. You're not using a phone. You're not even calling the pizza company. You are using an app. You're using your smartphone or you're using your smartwatch to pay for something in a shop. All of those small talk opportunities, they're all gone. So
now there's the Amazon shops.
All of this.
Where you walk in, it scans you on your way in, you pick up whatever you want, and you walk back out, and it knows there's no need for a shopkeeper at all.
it kind of the less technologically advanced version of that was. So my father used to work in a briquette factory.
Yes.
Or briquette.
I was going to say, I would say briquette, but yeah.
Well, a briquette is a female briquette.
No, it's not.
Well, sorry. I'll see your emoji fact. And so a car would be weighed in the way in. And then they would get their briquettes. And they'd be weighed in. Yeah. And more than once my father spotted a fella in the boot of a car.
On the way in?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Some big unit.
Yeah.
I have bought 2 bales. Hold on. It looks like you've way more. And then there's just a random guy walking out of it, essentially an industrial space.
Sorry, can I just say one thing very quickly? Because you mentioned smartphones and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know this. I know it's a fact, but I don't know the details of this. But since the invention of cellular technology,
yes,
every ringtone you've ever heard is fake.
What do you mean?
Cellular technology does not connect in the way that copper wired phone technology connects. Yeah. In the sense that it rings like it the this is where I don't know stuff. But what I'm gathering is
this is where you
that the signal is an electrical impulse that goes up into the phone's circuitry, which rings to announce that the phone is being, contacted. So the ring is a real physical pulse of ring. When they invented cellular technology, all it is 2 computers connecting. There's no reason for there to be a ring, but we as humans need the ring to understand that the phone is ringing at your end. The phone is never ringing at your end or my end. It's just 2 computers going, "Hey, are you ready to go? Yeah, cool, we're like this." And then one of us goes, "Connect." And, "Oh, hello." So the and the "I'm here," completely falsified. It's all just for us to feel familiarity.
Okay, so in the same way that when you type, typing used to make the sound of a typewriter.
Yeah.
Or mail being sent used to go whoosh.
Yes.
And all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
it's just stuff to let us, because we think, and call me is still that.
Totally.
Okay. So it's a kind of a remnant.
There's a name for that I've forgotten. I think we might have done it. Yeah, there is some name for why the save like you've presumably heard the joke of a kid goes, "Why have you 3D printed the save icon?" Have you heard that? Somebody had a floppy disk.
I was watching West Wing the other night, which will provide my facts for the next long time.
Amazing.
And there was a guy in it, and CJ, who was the press secretary at the time, went, "Will you give me an advance copy of the book?" And the guy, who was a journalist, went, "No." And as he was walking out, he accidentally, dropped a copy of the book, and it was on a floppy disk. And it's probably 2003 or 4.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe that.
And think about it. Floppy disks were at one point floppy.
And then
they were actually floppy because they were like a piece of tape.
They were very
Whereas then when we turned into what we traditionally call a floppy disk, which is the save emoji, that was a very firm case around a floppy piece of. So again, this is all amazing.
So the question about this is, if we are speaking less, is it bad necessarily? Well, studies also show that parents that don't talk to their babies as much as they used to because they're largely they're on their phones. So Kaya de Barbaro, who's an associate professor of psychology at the University of Texas, analysed families with babies synchronizing home audio recording with the mother's smartphone use, and they figured out that the mams spoke 16% fewer words to their infants. And the more words you talk to babies, the better they get on in school, and the bigger vocabulary that they have.
Okay.
So,
I wonder, and this might be
slightly... And same, by the way, would apply to dads. It's just
they did
this
study that way,
study,
I would say something maybe not controversial, but I'm all for evolution. And I realize in order to evolve, there must be periods of negativity.
Going around the wrong
So, for example,
path.
Let's imagine that we all get so ensconced in devices.
Yeah.
And the devices become implants. Yeah. And we live in a virtual world. And
we
all
lose
this
the power of speech.
That we lose, like we don't raise our kids in the same way. And sure, for 10 generations, we're dumbing us down and we're drooling and we're useless and whatever. But eventually, life
finds a way.
Yeah. And we develop another way, and I just wish I would have lived in the future when we didn't do anything.
See,
I just want to be...
You're a lazy optimist.
So lazy.
But there's two things I'd say about that. One, we don't have 10 generations. You seen the Chinese robots that can run faster than Usain Bolt?
Yeah. Have you seen them trying to stop?
What?
It's one of the funniest things in the world.
Yeah, but hold on. That happens in the 60 meters.
Yeah.
Which is the thing I cannot get my head around. We'll get back to this in a second. I cannot get my head around. You know, in indoor, we had the 60-meter race. You don't usually have it outdoors. 60. You get the finest athletes in the world, and you go train for the full year to do this.
Yeah.
Train as hard as you can.
You've got one shot.
You got one shot. Put on your M&M, right?
Yeah.
You cannot. If you got to go on the B of bang, you don't have to go on the G of bang because you're going to lose this.
Yeah.
You got to look after your macros and your micros and all your nutrition and do everything that you can, and we're going to get you to run as fast as we can, and we have no meaningful way of stopping you. You're going to have to run into a wall. You thoroughbred horse of an athlete is going to have to run into a wall to stop them. You're going to have to shoulder foam.
You're so
That's
right.
what you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
How is that still allowed?
It is unacceptable.
By the way, even the long jump. We're going to jump in the stand. Has that changed since Bob Beeman did it? No, it has not. We haven't even changed the sand.
You're so right.
There's a guy looking at the ground with a flag going, no, you stepped on the board a little. I know you've jumped from here to Wales.
Yeah.
You've jumped over the ferry, right? People in Holyhead just had an eclipse and a shadow coming over them. But no, your toenail is on the board, so that's not acceptable.
Did I tell you about my back garden? Did I tell you about this on this podcast? No, I'll tell you now. I think we were measuring... I can't remember what we were looking for, the relative... I wonder how long that is or whatever. Let's measure... Let's see how long the garden is. And we measured the garden. The garden was 9.6 meters wide, whatever. And then I went... I wonder... Just out of interest, I wonder how long the world record long jump is. It's 9.6 meters, whatever it is. It's the width of my garden, right? And we were like... astounded, and the kids were even like having a conversation about it, going, oh my god, so someone runs from our neighbor like Claire's house and leaps there and lands in Miriam's. And we're like, it's so crazy. And then I realized I had built a shomra out the back for my kids, and I went, I wonder how tall that is. 2.3 meters. Checked the world record high jump, 2.3 meters. So my garden is the world record long jump wide, and the building in it is the world record high jump high.
Are you pitching... You know the Saudi wants a sports wash. When all the inevitable stuff that you've done comes out, are you trying to sports wash?
It's not inevitable stuff that I've done will come out. It's the stuff that I've done will inevitably come out. That is there's a very subtle legal difference there. Come on, give me the best.
Yes, legally, but in the court of public opinion, I think we all know. So basically, you're pitching for some sort of diamond league.
Yeah,
to happen
in the back
your house.
If you can jump over the silver birch and not smack off the wall in Miriam's house.
Is there anything else?
No, I haven't. Maybe my house is the height of the pole vault. I don't know.
Can we do Ukraine? That's the height of the pole vault. I'm going to guess 7 meters something, I'd say.
I would say that Swedish lad. He's always breaking the record. Mondo.
Who used to, isn't it Mondo? Used to be, it used to be Sergei Bubka.
Oh yeah, Bubka's he's long been eclipsed by this lad.
I know, I think his name's Mondo. Didn't he race Mondo Duplantis? Yeah. Didn't he raced one of his mates who was a hurdler.
Yes.
And he beat him. A hurdler over 100 meters.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenon, this guy.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Sorry, I know it's apropos of nothing, but I had to get it in right there.
But this is why we are dragging up the average.
Okay, because we're constantly blabbing.
Absolutely. Yappers, blabbers are bringing up the average.
That's why Irish mammies, when they hang up the phone, say, they're just trying to get up to 16,000 again.
I also think that, I know you want the world to be evolution. Sure. I think it would be a massive shame for a man, and genetically speaking, I'm assuming you're passing this on to your children, for a man with a tongue as big as yours to not speak. That red carpet of muscle that you have. In fact, if you were ever at a premiere and for some reason you can't, something happens to the red carpet, call Dave, tell him something. Just have quite a long, say if you need 10 minutes of red carpet pictures, tell him a 10-minute long story about tiramisu, and I would say you get a good 6 to 8 feet of that bad boy.
You definitely would.
As I said before, he's a man who can lick stamps in a different room. It's extraordinary.
It is extraordinary.
He should do the haka. He should be brought in. What did we say? Do you know the way you can have a professional, just a kicker in NFL?
Yes.
Just
the tongue.
for the haka bit.
Yeah.
That bit.
Yeah.
It should just be you.
Yeah.
And like that is intimidating. It's so many levels. So we are speaking a lot less. A point I should make about this. Think about this. This is 2005, 2019.
Oh, we're 7 years on.
Yeah, 7 years on, including a worldwide pandemic, which further siloed people in their little and isolated people in their little
Interesting.
atomized units. So they think that we may well speak even fewer words now.
Me think good. Me think good, no talk.
Me think good, no talk is actually the slogan of the Prose Bros podcast.
The Prose Bros silent podcast.
Yeah.
Me think good, no talk.
Meditate, ice bath, brown fat. I've got more to tell you. I'm going to tell you in the bonus.
Tell you the bonus. I love it. Thanks, Neil.